Hello, Facebook Live. Good morning. Marcus here from Aroma Time. It is about 8:45 in the morning. Hello from Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, however you're catching us. We're live on YouTube right now, but these videos do get shared and reposted and uploaded to YouTube. So, some updates on the community meals. Project Resilience from Ulster County here is a program that is initiated by the county that gets meals to people throughout Ulster County. Project Resilience here in the town of Awarson today is not happening because of the high winds and all the rain. So it's weather related. We're feeding about 500 people a day now, 3 days a week. So 1,500 meals go out between Aroma Time and a couple other restaurants in the area. Get meals up. The county sends us emails once a week now and asking restaurants that are participating in this program to put up meals. So a lot of restaurants throughout Ulster County are doing this. We do it twice a week. We did 200 meals last week. We're doing 200 meals this week again. Is on the ballot for us. So just wanted to get this message out there that Project Resilience is not happening today. The meals are not going out because of weather. Jamie, if you can drop the link. Jamie's on right now. Jamie, if you can drop the link to Project Resilience. If you need a meal, please go to that link and sign up. If you want to donate, we've had several guests saying, how can I donate to this? Because this does run on county funds, and these county funds will dry up. They will not exist anymore. So if you want to donate monetarily, you can go on there and donate monetarily. We had several guests say, how can I do it? We've given them the link. So you can donate to that. If you want to volunteer, you need to contact the town of Awarson, Paul Tuzzolino specifically, WAW Town Council or WAW Town Board, I can never remember, at gmail.com. Try both of those. Right now, all the meals go to Pioneer Engine Company over on Center Street. Only a couple people are allowed at a time in that building while the meals are there. The drivers, I believe, wait outside. And then the meals come out or they get called, and it's a system that they have to limit the amount of contacts. People ask us, can I come help you volunteer at the restaurant, Marcus? The answer is really no. You can't come help us volunteer because, again, we don't want a lot of people here. Christmas Day, on our volunteers on Christmas Day, there's 30, 40 people in this restaurant volunteering. It's nothing like that. We want to keep this down to 2 people, 3 people max in the restaurant at a time, especially cooking in the kitchen. And I literally have one person that comes, I start cooking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, then I have another person comes in at 8 o'clock, and we swap back and forth. And so if you want to volunteer cooking, I'm sorry, I would love for you to volunteer. We totally love volunteers because we could use the help, but no volunteers, unfortunately, in the kitchen or in the restaurant with this cooking. So we literally do 100 meals with 3 people. So one person plating up out here and 2 people back and forth in the kitchen, myself and one other person. So that's how that's done. And we have to plan ahead on that. So we've already, we're making chicken teriyaki. So we already took our boneless, skinless chicken thighs. We marinated them in local organic tamari with fresh ginger and fresh garlic and some sesame oil. They're marinating now. Now we have to grill them off. We have to cook rice. We got fresh broccoli. So that's our meal for Tuesday. So Jamie dropped that link for that, Project Resilience. Any help you can do as far as donating or spreading the link on, the link that's there will help feed more people. So you can sign up right through there. It's right through the county. The town will get their information. When this first started 3 weeks ago, they were feeding 40 people. 40 people the very first couple of days. Now they're up to 500 people per town of Awarson alone. 500 meals are getting generated and getting delivered through Pioneer Engine Company and through several restaurants in our area and just outside of our area. So Jamie dropped that link. I did a Facebook Live last night about cheese. And cheese, we can get you. We have a great connection with Murray's Cheese Shop in New York City. Murray's Cheese Shop is a superstore of all cheese shops. They have the largest cheese selection in the country. It's amazing. They have a couple different locations. Any cheese that Murray's has, you can have here the next day. We can have it for the next day. After my Facebook Live last night, it was 49 minutes long. I talked about a bunch of things. I've had people already emailing me and saying, I want this cheese, I want this cheese. If you email us your cheese, do not just randomly say, hey, I want truffle brie. You have to specifically find the item on Murray's Cheese Shop. Jamie, if you can drop the link for Murray's Cheese, it's murrayscheese.com. You have to go find the cheese you want on their website, and then message me that link. So just don't say random names just don't say random names of cheese like, oh, I want this cheese, I want that cheese. Murray's has to have it in stock, and I can't do a lot of work researching it. You've got to find the cheese on their site and say, this is what I want, and we'll get it for you. So that's the story with that. But I can get you any cheese. If you have your orders to me by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock today, 3 o'clock, that cheese will be here tomorrow. All right, so I've already got a bunch of cheeses that I'm gonna go place now on order that people have emailed me. You can email info@aromatimebistro.com. Info@aromatimebistro.com. You can email us your order. We're gonna be hopefully streamlining our order process and going online so you can order online and pay online. Because the phones just ring non-stop here for 2-3 hours a day. Both lines ring back and forth, and we appreciate the business, but we need to streamline that a little bit. So we're looking into systems that'll help us do that right now. Super important, we're still giving out free gloves, vinyl and latex gloves, vinyl gloves. We're giving out free gloves. No purchase necessary. Come in and grab some gloves. Be safe. Don't pump gas without these. Be safe. We'll give you a handful for free. If you want to buy a box, we'll sell you a box. Simple as that. Free water. Ionized water. We have a $2,000 machine here that ionizes water. High antioxidant, electron-rich, high pH, microclustered, which means it's highly absorbable into your body and very hydrating. That water, if you were to buy it at a water shop, it would cost $1.50 a gallon. You bring your own containers. That is free. Free as a community service. We've always done our water free to people who have cancer, because this is an amazing, amazing water to alkalize your system. And if you're suffering from chronic degenerative diseases, especially cancer, this water has some beneficial effects that you can look up, do some research. Miraculous Properties of Ionized Water is a great book. Bob McCauley was a guest of mine on a video last week that I had on Facebook. But the studies are out there, so we've always given it free to anybody who has cancer that wants high quality water. It's always been a free public service, community service. But now, if anybody wants this water is essential. High quality water is essential to staying healthy. You need to keep hydrating. You need to keep drinking a lot of water every day. You need to keep, every hour, put some water down. This is what I do. I fill this up 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day. I fill this twice up with vitamin C. I'm taking about 6 to 8 to 9, 10 grams of vitamin C a day. And my vitamin C is in here. And if I shake it up, you'll see that it's cloudy, and you might be able to see some of the particles there. That's my vitamin C. So, folks, now is the time you have to eat right, think right, and still keep exercising. You need to keep exercising right now. Do something. Keep active. If you're locked down right now and you're at home, a lot of people that are at home that haven't left their house, do something productive. Do really something productive so you come out of this knowing more than you know going into it. So there's a lot of resources. For me, Jamie and I have never really watched TV. We have a TV, cable. I don't even know if the only reason we have cable is we need internet at our house. But for me, I like to go onto YouTube and find documentaries. I watched the whole chicken documentary the other day because I wanted to learn. I'm sitting, I'm like, okay, I want to learn about chickens. Like, where did chickens come from? Like, not the story of like what came first, the egg or the chicken, but like what country did chickens originate in, and when did we learn to cultivate them? And so I did this whole did a couple documentaries on chickens, and now I'm sort of like a chicken expert as far as the history of chickens. So do something that is going to be meaningful and educational and help you grow as a person instead of sitting there and being depressed at home. A lot of people are getting depressed. A lot of people, and days like this where it's rainy and windy and there's no sun, it's even worse. Every chance you get in the sun. Sit on your porch. Get in the sun, absorb vitamin D. Your body needs that sun, needs that energy. Super, super beneficial. I don't really want to get into sunscreens because that's a whole nother topic. But sunscreens contain a lot of cancer-causing chemicals. That's just the reality of it. So use the sun wisely. Use the sun very wisely. For me, I know, and a lot of doctors that I follow, a lot of health practitioners will say, just don't go out in the sun for an hour and a half your first day out. You want to do 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. So you build up your resistance to the sun so you don't go out and burn. When you burn and you get red, that's when you cause problems or could cause future problems. So it's a matter of building up your resistance. I've also heard a doctor say a few years ago, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, that the more omega-3 fats that are in your system, like coconut oil, high quality omega fats, fats from wild salmon, grass-fed beef, the more of those that are in your system, the more you benefit from the sun and the more it buffers any damage that the sun could actually cause. Just some thought out there. Again, I'm not a medical doctor. I just do a lot of reading, and I watch a lot of documentaries, and I listen to a lot of doctors. I listen to a lot of researchers, and I listen to a lot of that stuff. So I'm fascinated with food and health and all those kinds of things. So I like to fill my mind up with things to empower me to make better decisions. So hope everybody had a great Easter yesterday. I know we were busy here. We had a great Easter here yesterday. Justin and I and a friend of his, we got out for a 35-mile bike ride. We rode around the reservoir from Ellenville. We saw the bald eagle up there, swoop in, take a bath, catch a fish, bring it back to the nest, feed the 2 babies. So that was a really awesome morning for Justin and I. It was one of the first bike rides that Justin and I have been on in quite some time. Justin got a new bike this week thanks to Favada's Table Rock Tours up in Rosendale. Bike shops, by the way, folks, are deemed an essential business. So if you want to be active and you like biking and you have a flat tire, you have a bent rim, your bike needs a tune-up, bike shops are considered essential businesses. Take your bike in, get it fixed, get it tuned up. I do a lot of riding on Berm Road here in Ellenville, and I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised. I've never seen this many people on bikes before. Families, single people, 2 people, father, sons. Every bike ride I've done in the last 2 weeks, there's always been people going up and down. It's great to see people active like that. They're probably going to close our state trails at some point. They did it in New Jersey, and it's just probably what's going to happen here. What's going to happen in the meantime is everybody from northern New Jersey is going to hit Harriman and come up here on day trips and pack our parks here. So the parks, I assume, they're going to probably make a decision at some point to close the parks. So if you have a bike is a very great way to exercise, get good long exercise. It's non-impact. There's less impact than running. I like running. I run as well. I'll run today in the rain. So a bike is a great way to get out and exercise. I noticed here in Ellenville, a lot of people are walking up and down Airport Road. When we came back from the reservoir yesterday, we rode down Airport Road. Lots and lots of people were walking back and forth. That's a great, straight, flat road if you want to walk, if you want to run, or if you want to ride your bike back and forth, back and forth. That's an awesome road by the airport. Airport Road is down by ShopRite, between ShopRite and the nursery, Country Flowers. So you can go down there. It's a beautiful, there's plenty of spaces to park at the end down there. The sheriffs have a substation down there, so there's usually some kind of sheriff presence down there. And you're right by the airport. You have a beautiful view of the Gunks. Take advantage every single moment you can of getting outside and enjoying the sun. There's a comment here about the rain. The rain is calming. Calming, cleansing, nourishing, growth and healing, yes. With the rain comes a lot of positive things. It's great that the lawns are turning green, lawns are green, all that kind of stuff, and the rain helps spark growth. So yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Again, this Facebook Live is about Project Resilience. Project Resilience is canceled today. It's going to be tomorrow. They canceled it because of the high winds and the amount of rain today. So that, of course, this is run mostly on volunteers that are doing the delivering. Pioneer Engine Company. People go there, they volunteer to, the restaurants make the food, then we actually deliver it, or they come to the restaurant to pick it up. We actually deliver our meals there. There's 500 people now relying upon a meal 3 days a week. Jamie dropped a link up in the beginning of this Facebook Live for Project Resilience. If you need a meal or know somebody needs a meal, they can sign up there. If you want to donate money, this is funded by the county right now, but the county will run out. This fund will run out at some point, and the amount of people that we're feeding is a lot. So there is a very small budget that they do, that they compensate the restaurants so we don't lose money. So that, and then if our meal is valued more, then we can, put it in and have a tax write-off. So we're not looking for volunteers in the restaurant because I have to limit the amount of people that are in the restaurant. If you come here Christmas Day, you'll see there's like 30 people volunteering. We only have 3 people that pull off 100 meals, myself, 1 cook, and Jamie. Jamie stays out here, does everything out here, so we have a very, very good system to do our 100 meals at a time. So, folks, stay positive, eat right, no white sugar, no sodas, none of that right now. Your immune system does not need that. That's the number one thing that tears your immune system down, is white sugar. If you drink soda, you are going to screw up your immune system. We know, because they've always told us, we've always been told by the government, by medical professionals, the elderly are immune compromised, or immune compromised people will be the first ones to get sick. So don't put yourself in that situation. Eat very high quality, healthy foods. We now sell shots of wheatgrass. If you want a shot of wheatgrass, we sell shots of wheatgrass. That is the best thing to go in and purify and cleanse your blood and clean things out. Shots of wheatgrass. They come frozen. They come in 1 ounce envelopes. It's a package of 5 frozen ones, evergreen, and it is, I think, $12 for 5 shots. You are freezer or your freezer. You take it out the day before, open up the package, put it in your refrigerator, open up the package, and take a shot of wheatgrass. We have young Thai coconuts. Young Thai coconuts are an amazing, amazing substance. They are filled with lauric acid. Lauric acid is what mother's milk has. So when infants get breastfed, that lauric acid builds their immune system. When they're infants, the mother passes on lauric acid through her breast milk to the infants, and that's what builds a baby's immune system. Coconuts have lauric acid. They're very, very strong in lauric acid. They will help you build your immune system. I did a video last week on how to crack a coconut, and if you're not comfortable cracking it, I'll crack it here and wrap it in plastic really tight where you can take it home and then pop the lid off. Super simple to do. We have more coconuts coming in today. I had 2 cases coming the other day. They're 1 for $6 or 2 for $10. They're $5 each if you buy 2, 1 for $6, and I'll crack them for you, no charge. If you want to crack them yourself, I can shave them down for you and mark them so you know right where to crack. I'll shave it right down to the shell, and you just whack it away or shave off the top and stick a straw in it. You can crack the whole thing open and scrape the jelly out of it. It's jelly coconut. Some coconuts have jelly, some don't. The older the coconut gets, the more jelly the coconut has. The brown coconuts are a mature, fully mature coconut. When you crack open a brown coconut, the meat is super hard inside. That's what you make macaroons with. That's what shredded coconut comes from, grated coconut. That is a fully mature coconut. That's the nut part. The green coconuts, the big green coconuts, that's a young coconut. When that ages, that outside green shell falls off and you have the nut left inside. So this right now, folks, is the young coconut. It's would be green, but it's been shaved white, so it's easy to transport and easy to use, and it packages in boxes very easily. So we can crack it for you. You can crack it yourself. Lauric acid is super, super important, folks. Eat right now. Eat right. No fried food. No cheese fries. Nothing like that. Avoid dairy if you can, or minimize your dairy. I reversed my asthma at the age of 28, and one of the things I did back at 28 years old, besides doing a full body cleanse, was getting rid of dairy. Dairy is very mucus forming, and asthma. I had pneumonia constantly as a kid, and as a young adult, constantly had pneumonia. My immune system was compromised, and I'm glad I made that change 20 years ago, because I barely get sick now. the flu the flu is a process of healing anyway, and it gets things out of your system. And a fever is a way that your body can eliminate things. It's a natural defense. So at certain points you need to cleanse, and you need to be able to have your body go through its natural cleansing process. But my kids grew up without all this junk food, without going to McDonald's, without having soda, and my kids have no idea what it's like to have pneumonia, bronchitis, strep throat. They've never been stuck in bed. My kids have only been on one round of antibiotics, and that's because they had Lyme disease. We went to a doctor, Dr. Schachter, who's was a president of the Drugless Practitioner Society, and we took our kids to many doctors. Our daughter, she had Lyme disease first. We took them to all kinds of doctors. We went to regular medical doctors, 2 or 3 regular medical doctors. We went to alternative healers. We went to kinesiologists. We went everywhere, and we tried all these different modalities with Courtney. And Dr. Schachter was one of the doctors we went to, a medical doctor, and he made the most sense out of any medical doctor we saw. He's an MD out of Rockland County. And I'd watched his videos in the past. I'd followed stuff. I'd seen his YouTube stuff. I'd read stuff. I'd listened to interviews from him years ago. So I knew exactly if I needed to go to a doctor that had very high credentials and was a medical doctor that had an open mind, out of the box thinking, he was the guy that was going to do it. And so we went to Dr. Schachter, and he explained to us, if you have Lyme disease, and he called other doctors around the country. He goes, listen, I have a 7-year-old little girl here. Here are the symptoms. And he masterminded with 2 or 3 other doctors around the country on what they would do and what he would do, and they came up with a conclusion, like-minded, and it was great. I've never seen a doctor call another doctor, because doctors always think, I'm right, but he was like, here's what I would do, but I want to make sure with my colleagues or some friends of mine, it's like Jamie and I in the restaurant business, we're expert marketers. We love to market, and we help other restaurant owners market. We have a coaching consulting business that we do. But when I come up with an idea, I call my other friends. I call people across the country. I'm like, hey, I want to do this promotion. How would you do it? Or what would you think? And we can collectively build a better protocol for advertising. So that's what he did. He built a better protocol for treating. And here's the biggest takeaway. I've told people this for years with Lyme disease that I learned from Dr. Schachter. That Lyme goes in and out of your nerves. Every 28 days it goes in, hides, and then comes back and goes and hides. Most doctors prescribe antibiotics for 3 weeks, 21 days is what I see most. If you do 28% of the Lyme, right, 90, maybe 99%, that 1% goes back into your nerves and hides and comes back out, goes back in, back out, back in, back out, and after a couple of years, you have this relapse. Because your body, you didn't get enough spawns. You have to catch three full spawns of the Lyme. If you don't get 3 full spawns, that's when relapses start to happen. And this is how it was explained to us. And Courtney had it when she was 6 or 7. She had to a point where she couldn't walk. Her knee swelled up really bad. And she's now 20. She's not had 1 relapse. Justin had Bell's palsy. His eyesight was off. He had it 5 years ago. And both of them, that was the only time our kids have ever been on antibiotics. They eat right, they exercise, they drink lots of water, lots of fruits and vegetables, no Snicker bars, no soda, no McDonald's. I hate to say it, folks, no McDonald's, no Dunkin' Donuts, nothing like that. No, if you're raising kids and you want healthy kids, you have to do what you're preaching, and you have to say, okay, we're not having donuts every Saturday. No, we're living a healthy life. If we want something, let's either bake something that's healthier. Let's find an alternative brand that is healthier, the healthiest, no white flour, no white sugar, things like that. Folks, now is the time to honor your immune system and build your immune system. There's a lot of things. Just do some research. You can go to a lot of different, very knowledgeable websites, find some research, and take some minerals, some supplements, vitamin C, all this kind of stuff. High quality food. You know the difference between high quality food right now. You know the difference between cheese fries and a pear. Between mashed potatoes with excessive amount of butter and sauteed fresh kale. You know the difference. This is all common sense. Make the right choices. Some of these comfort foods will do your immune system in. All right. Now's not the time. So I need a comfort food, and I just want cheese sauce all over my French fries and this and that with bacon bits on it. Make the right decisions. Your your health is depending upon it, and probably other people are depending upon you as well. So I have to stay healthy, because if we're feeding 200 people in our community every single week, I have to be healthy to be able to keep going forward. My wife Jamie has to be healthy. We'll have to be healthy. So, especially if you have parents relying upon you, or loved ones, and especially kids and stuff, you've got to stay healthy. So we know that people with compromised immune systems are the first ones, not the only ones, but the first ones affected. So if you can study how to build your immune system, you're in a better position. All right, you're in a much better position. And chances are a regular medical doctor, not saying anything bad, but a regular medical doctor doesn't have enough training on building an immune system. Medical doctors have training on administering based upon symptoms. It's just a different mindset. It's a different training that they go through. If you go to somebody who's an immunologist, somebody who's a nutritionist, somebody who has different training, and some medical doctors have that training. Some medical doctors are taking it upon themselves to really jump into what makes the immune system rock and roll and do peak performance. That's the first conversation I would be having with your medical doctors. What can I do right now for my immune system? And folks, it's taken me, the very first medical doctor I had when we moved back from Colorado was Dr. Lev, and he was in Middletown, if anybody knows who he was. 80 years old. And walked into his office and sat in his office and had conversations in his office, not in an examination room. We sat in his office. Same thing with Dr. Schachter. You sit in his office for a full hour. And a lot of doctors aren't that kind of system. You're in and out, you're in and out, you're in and out, you're in and out. I went to Crystal Run once because somebody told me, oh, this is an amazing doctor, you're going to love him, Marcus. And I had like 3 or 4 people saying, you're going to love this doctor. I went there, got my blood work. They called back with my blood work. And I said, I want to come in and sit down and go over my blood work. They go, no, your blood work's fine. You'll be back next year for your annual. And I said, no, I want to sit down. They go, no, it's not, Marcus, we're not that kind of a place. It's basically what they told me. I want to be able to sit down with a doctor and have an intelligent conversation. So my first doctor, Dr. Lev, this was 20 years ago when we moved back from Colorado. I sat down with him in his office. He goes, I will tell you what works, not based upon what the medical system is telling me to tell you, but based upon what I've experienced in my long career. And some of this stuff is going to be contradictory to what other doctors are going to tell you. This is a medical doctor. He goes, so if you're comfortable with that, and I said, no, this is what I'm looking for. I want outside the box. I want true nutrition. And we had a conversation about being a vegetarian. We had a conversation about eating grass-fed meat. We had a conversation, a full hour about diet and nutrition and exercise and mindset. And I was like, this is what I'm looking for, the whole picture. And there's a lot of great medical doctors that are in our area that are like this. There's a doctor in Kerhonkson, Dr. Rosenberg, I think. A lot of people rave about him. A lot of people rave about him and his wife. And they have a beautiful outside area. This is one thing I've always said about hospitals. Hospitals should have these beautiful gardens that when people are well, to get outside and get some fresh air and be with nature and get some sunshine. And I believe he has a setup like that. I actually go to a local doctor here, Vladimir Andres, and I like what he does. We have great conversations. He takes time to talk to you. The last time I got my blood work done with him, he prescribed me like magnesium, and he was like, buy this vitamin, this vitamin, this vitamin, and that'll line up your blood work. And that's what I did. I went back and he was like, your blood work's great, because I was taking magnesium, I was taking whatever he said. L-arginine was one of the things. Tribulus was another thing. So these were things that he was like, yeah, take this, and take that. And I was like, wow, that's great, not pushing drugs. Folks, nutrition does work. Nutrition does work. Listen to the right people in nutrition, eat right, and listen to yourself, because you know what's right and wrong. Avoid the sodas. I got to get going. I got to finish my orders. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Jamie and I really appreciate all of the support. All the support. Sorry I can't see all the questions because I'm on my phone. What you said that we should take every day for our immune system besides coconut. Okay, so Jeanette's asking immune. So what I take for my immune system, I rotate zinc 3 days on, 3 days off, lozenges. I take a lot of vitamin D. I know there's a little bit of controversy on vitamin D. If you go to your doctor, they'll tell you, take like 2,000, 3,000 international units. If you look at Dr. Mark Hyman, the MD, who's written, nine best-selling New York Times books. What's his next book coming out? He will tell you the first symptom of flu, 150,000 international units. Dr. Gundry also agrees with that. 150,000 international units of vitamin D. I take about 15 to 20,000 international units of vitamin D. And again, I'm just telling you what I do. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just telling you what I do because the question was here. I take vitamin C every day, 6 to 10 grams, sometimes 12 grams. It just depends how much, how I've spaced my water out and drinking vitamin C. I take chlorella. I take spirulina. Spirulina goes right into my smoothie. Spirulina and chlorella are great for your immune system. I take, I know there's more. I take elderberry concentrate. I take black cumin seed oil every day. I heard years ago a very well-known nutritionist saying that heart attacks happen at night. Most people have a heart attack at night. And if for a whole population of people in risk just took black cumin seed oil at night, you decrease the amount of heart attacks we had. And black cumin seed oil is a strong anti-inflammatory, and it specifically helps with that. So I take a large dose of black cumin seed oil every day, and this is inexpensive. So black cumin seed oil. I'll also take curcumin if I have any achy parts of my body, inflammation. Some doctors claim that all disease is a form of inflammation of some sort. Your body has an inflammation response of some sort. And I've heard doctors say that. So curcumin is super, super powerful. I have to order more curcumin today. Vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A I take. I rotate zinc, chlorella, spirulina. I rotate a bunch of those things. I also drink beet juice. Beet juice. This is an energy drink, Beet Performer. These are expensive. These come in little cans. But you can't put a price tag on your health. I usually buy the big bottles of Nudston organic beet juice and drink that before I go for a run or for a cycle. Nitric oxide is super important to flood your system with nitric oxide. The older you get, the less you produce. It's a protective quality that young people have that helps them fend off heart disease, heart attacks, things like that. The more nitric oxide, the stronger your heart, oxygen intake, things like that. So beet, spinach, super, super important for your heart health. Super, super important. So beet. I would avoid Gatorade at all costs. Avoid Gatorade. If you took beet juice and aloe vera juice, 50-50 blend, aloe vera juice, beet juice. There was a great nutritionist, endurance runner that swears by this. I heard this like 3 years ago. Swears by it. 50-50, that's what's in his pouch when he does his 100-mile runs, his 50-mile runs. And he explained the science behind it and how this goes into your body and works and replaces electrolytes and brings the oxygen levels up in your blood, the nitric oxide, how good it is. So Gina's saying super greens. Yeah, super greens as in like a powdered supplement. Powdered greens are extremely beneficial for you. If you get powdered, like a lot of companies will sell like a powdered green juice. Here's the thing. Do I have one handy? I had one the other day here. You can actually make your own green juice at home from a powder. Here's the most important thing that you want to look for if you're buying like powdered wheatgrass juice, powdered barley juice, or green powdered greens. You want to look at the label, the ingredients, and make sure that you're buying the powdered juice, not the powder. There's a big difference because anybody can take parsley and dehydrate it and chop it up and put dried parsley into water, all right? And say, oh, I got parsley juice. But if you take parsley and juice it, and then take the juice and dehydrate the juice, you're left with this extremely strong concentrate that is, at a 50 times strength. It's a super, super powerful concentrate. Again, you can go to the store and buy parsley flakes, grind it up and say, oh, I'm drinking parsley juice. No. That's just parsley flavored water, all right? So that's what that is. When you buy these green supplements, green powder drinks, you want to buy stuff that is from the juice, powdered juice. That's the full strength format. don't buy the stuff with all the, and you can see when you put it in water and you stir it around, if all these particles remain and things don't dissolve, that's the cellulose, that's the plant fiber, because they're giving you the plant fiber, not the juice. There's no fiber left in the juice. They dehydrate the juice and they do it. Those are the strongest. Those are going to cost more, but they're well worth it. So that's what you want to buy. Kimberly's saying, I bought one from you many years ago. Yes, we've had them. We've had a lot of them over the course of the years. Several of them. I like Gary Knowles' his green stuff. Gary Knowles' green stuff is really awesome. That's one of my favorite brands for years. Gary Knowles has a green stuff and a red stuff. And these are the kind of things, folks, that you need to be putting into your body every day. Every day, flood your body with this. Flood your body with this. Just keep giving your body the stuff it needs. We know our body needs kale, spinach, stuff like that, and not cheeseburgers, and not French fries, and not cheese fries, and all that kind of crap, and not donuts, and not soda. We all know the difference between right and wrong. Now's the most important time ever to do that. That's it, folks. I've got to get rocking and rolling. No Project Resilience today. It's back tomorrow. Community meals. We'll be doing that. Just says, thank you, Marcus. You're helpful. Thank you, Jeanette, for watching. I appreciate it. Jamie will be back today for her happy hour, by the way. We had such a busy weekend, but she will be back for her happy hour today. So she apologizes she's not been on. 4 o'clock today, phone calls permitting. So that's what happens. The phone just rings like crazy here at 4 o'clock. So that's what happens with that. So Jamie will be back doing some mixology, some bartending. So are beets good for you roasted or just juiced? The best way to consume beets is going to be juiced or raw. That's honestly the best way, because they're raw. The vital life force is there. The enzymes are intact, right? The enzymes are the key to life. Our body runs on enzymes. Enzymes in food are key. The more raw and living foods you can have in any diet, the better off you are. Raw and living foods. If you roast beets, you're going to kill the enzymes. It's going to have some beneficial things. This is pasteurized, so this is cooked. Beet juice that you buy that we're selling, it's cooked, it's pasteurized. Raw beets would be the best, would be the total best. Juicing them, grating them, shredding them, dicing them up, putting them in. So anytime that you can eat something raw versus cooked in the plant world is typically better. Certain things you need to give a quick steam to, like broccoli and cruciferous vegetables, to actually release the enzymes to help digestion. So broccoli, if you think you're eating raw broccoli as a benefit, there's some controversy on that. Raw cucumbers, yeah. Other things that are raw, yes. Of course, you could never eat a raw onion because you probably don't have the palate for a raw onion. But an apple versus apple pie, see the difference? Raw apple versus cooked apple, right? So that's the difference. Apple, whole fresh apple versus apple butter that you're putting on your toast, right? So different. Anytime you can have anything raw, it has the vital life force. It has that energy in it. It has that charge that your body loves that kind of stuff. Your body thrives on raw and living foods like that, all right? This is one part of a lot of diets. It's a common denominator. If you were to take all the diets out there and put them together and say, okay, here's 10 of the most popular diets. Here's one piece that's a common denominator. Here's one piece that's a common denominator. I've always wanted to write the common denominator diet, things that are in every diet out there. So, whether you're keto, vegan, vegetarian, blood type diet, what are the 5 or 10 things you have to do with every single diet that's a common denominator? I think that would be great. They're just end the confusion. The common denominator diet. I thought about this 10 years ago. I just never acted upon it. And one of the common denominators is water. Every diet preaches water, right? They're all like water, 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 water. Come in and get your free ionized water. It's free. It's a community service. We'll load you up. Water. Another thing is veggies, right? Veggies are in the part of this common denominator. Raw veggies, better for you. So, and maybe someday I'll get to this common denominator diet, and that would just end everybody's confusion. Here's what all these top 10 diets say. Here's it summed up. You don't want to eat meat. You don't whatever. There it is, common denominator. So, all right, folks, I've got to get to work. My phone has rang a couple times here, and I've got to place some orders. A lot of people are on today, so I really appreciate it, Jamie, and I really appreciate all the business. We appreciate all the support. We are making it happen here. We're making it work. We're working harder than ever. We're working much harder than ever. but we're making it happen, and because of you, we are here and open and able to provide knowledge and high quality food. We do deliveries, $50 minimum, and you have to call early enough. You can't call at 6 o'clock and say, hey, can I get delivery tonight? We don't have a delivery driver here on call ready to go. If we know by 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we can say, okay, we can schedule you in for a delivery, at 7 o'clock, 6:30, this or that. So we did a delivery to Walden yesterday. We've done deliveries. Oh wow, it's getting windy out. We've done deliveries all in our area to Kerhonkson, to Accord, into Pine Bush, so into Ulster Heights. We have a huge, big grocery order going out to a family on Tuesday, like a big, like probably a $1,500 grocery order and food order going out to a family. If you want to stock up on things like that, we will deliver to you. Cases of salmon, things like that, but it has to be done in advance. If it's just grocery items, we can do it at any point of the day. We can deliver you a lot of things. So organic pears are coming in today, more apples are coming in today, a bunch of stuff's coming in today. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate the support, and we'll talk to you later.